Chapter 1: The Lens of a Camera. I've never really complained to my parents when they had told me we were moving. Many who are close to me know this is something that happens frequently, and I won't get into detail why, but there was this one time during the summer of 5th grade, my parents had told me we were moving. Now, I was okay with it until they said I had to move schools too. This is when I got really upset because I knew moving to a new school would mean new people. I started freaking out because I was really scared of not having any friends. Then on the first day of school, I finally realized no one knows me, so I can finally be who I really want to be. During lunch, I had made so many new friends, and one of them being my best friend, who I am currently best friends now. We would always hang out together since that day I met her, and I am truly grateful for moving. Now I see myself as a lens of a camera because when new opportunities arise, instead of looking at it from a blurry perspective, I try to see the clear and positive outcomes. Chapter 2: My Amazing Family. My dad was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, with 4 older siblings and his mother. He went to a private Catholic school but never finished due to the bad influences of the older kids he hung out with. He soon learned to correct his ways and tells me and my brothers not to make the same mistakes he made. My mom was born in LA, but when she was 13, she moved to El Paso. She also has 4 older siblings and was raised by both her parents. Since both my parents never graduated high school, they have high expectations for me and my brothers. The way my parents met was one like out of a romantic comedy. My dad asked my mom to dance and they hit it off after that. They soon got married and had my older brother Grayson, who is honestly really geeky and can be mean, but I know he still loves me. Then they had me, their favorite, and after, my little brother, who is also very geeky but a lot funnier. Chapter 3: Magic and Passion. Like every other 8-year-old girl, I had always dreamed of being something magical. I loved the idea of becoming the Little Mermaid. I'd have that movie on constant repeat, and almost every day I would go swimming and practice my mermaid swim. That was until one day 2 girls had told me it was impossible to become one. I honestly knew that, and saying that made me realize that even more. It may be sad, but I became more realistic about my dreams. Now that I'm in high school and about to graduate in 2 years, my new dream is to become a cosmetologist. I feel really passionate about it, and I have some experience since my grandma was one. I feel that in life, you should do a job that you love, and I could do what I love and have fun. Chapter 4: McDonald's. My happy place isn't somewhere most people would pick, like Disneyland or the beach. Mine's a fast food restaurant, McDonald's. You may ask why I would pick such a place, and it's not because their food is amazing, but it's because of the memories I have there. I remember my grandparents had always been important in my life. They babysat me and my brothers all the time and would pick us up after school. When they did, they would always ask where we wanted to go. Now, they knew the answer already, but they loved hearing the excitement in our voices when we yelled, "McDonald's!" I have the most memories of my grandpa here, and every time I go, I'm reminded of how amazing he was and how he would always love seeing me and my brothers have fun. Chapter 5: Uncle Joey. Have you ever met someone where you instantly hit it off with them? That's how a lot of people felt about my Uncle Joey. He was such an outgoing and funny person who could always make a room light up as soon as he walked in. He is such an inspiration to my life because of how he made others feel, which was appreciated and welcomed. He has also taught me not to let anyone bring me down because of who I am. I look up to him, and every day I try to make the same decisions and choices he would make so that he would be proud of me if he saw me today. Chapter 6: My Biggest Mistake. To a teenager, one of the most prized possessions we have is our phones. I can remember when I couldn't wait to get a new phone. Once I finally got it, I didn't want to leave it out of my sight. I got it when I was in 8th grade. Now, I always keep my phone in my back pocket because I know it's always there. So one day, I really had to go pee at school. I literally ran to the bathroom, closed the stall, and pulled down my pants. However, at that exact same moment, I hear a sound that made my heart drop. I turn around to see my phone is in the toilet. I quickly grab it, and to my surprise, it's dead. I had told my parents, and they fixed it. However, a few months later, I may or may not have slammed it in the car door. After that, my parents didn't want to get me a new phone, which was completely understandable because they had already paid a lot of money to fix my old one. Now, they did end up giving me a new phone, which is the one I currently have now, but I've learned from my mistake of breaking it, so currently I own an OtterBox. Chapter 7: My Supportive Father. They say the adults in your life impact how you grow up and they shape you into the person you become. My father has always been there for me and taught me many valuable lessons. He has told me that he would be here for me through anything because he understands how hard it is to be a teenager. I know that when I talk to him, he'll always give me the best advice afterwards, whether it comes to friend or boy drama, to school and grades. He'll always know what to say. When it comes to my future, my dad has always told me to do what I love, that it doesn't matter if I go to some big university, as long as I'm happy. I really appreciate my dad for being so loving and caring in all that I do, and I couldn't ask for a better father. Chapter 8. A starting player. Have you ever wanted to quit something because you didn't feel good enough? That's how I felt about the sport that I loved the most, but at the time I didn't realize it. In junior high, both my 7th and 8th grade year, I had made the volleyball team. However, I never really played much. I told myself the reason was because I wasn't as good as the other players. That made me feel less about myself, and then in high school I shouldn't join. So my freshman year, I didn't, and I really missed playing the game. I talked to my dad about it, and he had told me if I really loved the game, it wouldn't matter if I felt like people were better or if they got more playing time. All that mattered was that I was having fun. That gave me the confidence boost to join again, and I had made the Frostshop team. Not the biggest accomplishment, but I'm hoping to make JV next year and prove to everyone that I am a starting player. Chapter 9. A Tigger or an Eeyore? For me, it's hard to say I'm one or the other. However, I always try to be more of a Tigger. I try to be more positive and help others be positive too. I also feel like I'm a Tigger because I'm always trying to have fun or make jokes, even when I probably shouldn't. However, I'm an Eeyore too. I've had times where I thought so negative and worry about things that I probably shouldn't because there's no reason to worry about it. This isn't such a bad thing though. It has helped me prevent from getting hurt or in trouble. Chapter 10. Only you can decide. In this point in my journey through life, I've learned a few things that have helped me get by. One of those things being forgiveness. We've all had someone either break our trust or we have broken theirs. When something like that happens, you may find it hard to forgive them or even forgive yourself. For me, I have been hurt by someone really close to me, but I had chosen to forgive them because I knew they were truly sorry. And I know it's hard to forgive, but why hold a grudge? All it does is create hate. Another thing I have learned to do is laugh. Laughing is like a medicine you can give yourself when you're having a bad day, or even if you're having a good one. Laughing always reminds you to enjoy the little things, which is something we all may take for granted. I know that people will try to take that laughter or happiness away from you, but your happiness is something you have control over. So my advice to everyone is to always find a way to laugh or smile, even when something negative happens.